How you guys doing? This is your man Bogy here. So we are here with the CREW After Hour. Hers. Yeah. Hers. Him's. Everybody's after CREW After Hours. All right. So this is your man Captain Bogy, and I'm with
Band, what's happening, guys? How's everyone?
O.M.B in the house. That's right. So I see O.M.B. It looks like you are in a club. It's probably the Blue Room Club, huh?
Like I said, Eiffel 65, blue dabba dee dabba die, man. Because I don't know,
Damn.
it's just the blue tint is going on right now. I don't know.
I
I'll roll
see.
with it. It's probably my computer because my computer throws off all these lights, and that's cool.
No,
It
no, no,
has a
no,
nice
no.
effect.
No.
Oh,
We gotta let the audience know that you are in an actual club, and it's a blue room. And and I noticed that O.M.B. he's ready for the ladies because he got the VIP room of the Blue Room Club with a bed right behind him, ready
I
to
don't want
go.
to. I don't want to say anything, but now that you brought it out, then
Yeah. So now the
figure
ladies know
figure me out.
O.M.B. he is ready for action. That's right. All right. So, guys, so as you can see, for right now, this is myself and O.M.B. We did have in topic one, GB joining us, but he couldn't continue for this one, but that's fine. Hopefully, we have Hess that will be joining us at any moment, so be prepared for that. So this kind of we're gonna call this one the Bogy Roundtable. I got quite a few things I want to share with you guys, from the last recording. Now, one of the first things, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I'm going to actually make it a topic for a little later on. But let's see, today is Saturday. That as of this recording is Saturday. Yesterday, Friday, I finished the last episode of Sliders, the TV show. So I just want to get a quick input from O.M.B. What do you know about Slide? Before I continue, I just want to make sure. What do you know about Sliders? What have you heard? Have you seen anything? Give us your input before I continue on this topic.
I remember the show as far as like it being advertised. It was in the 90s, if I remember right.
Yes, 1995 was season one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember it being around. I don't remember watching an episode,
Hmm.
but I do know that it was heavily advertised during that time because if I want to say it has like some kind of like a futuristic vibe to it,
Yes.
like
Yeah, traveling through
yeah,
interdimensions.
yeah. I that's as far as I remember, but I do remember like slide. It was like time jumping. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys a little bit. What the show was about. I'll give you a few details, but I will be expanding on this a little later on in a future episode to really give you guys a lot more information and maybe for you guys to be a little curious and try to track down this show to start watching these seasons. So the Sliders, the TV show, came out in 1995, and it's a sci-fi type of show. IMDb gave it a 7.4 rating out of 10. From Google users rating, 90% gave it a like. Okay, so that's saying quite a bit. The four main characters that, well, at least started off the seasons because it did change from season to season depending on what was going on. But you have Quinn Mallory, played by Jerry O'Connell. You have Maximilian Arturo, played by John Rhys. You have Wade Wells, played by Sabrina Lloyd. And you have Rembrandt Brown, played by Cleveland Derricks. Now, basically, what Sliders is about is Quinn Mallory. He starts working on a machine that can take you to other dimensions. Meaning, the Earth that we know, like this right here that we're living, is the Earth that we know. So we can call this Earth Prime. But he went ahead and made the invention of being able to go to other parallel universes, so other Earths, where maybe a small event, a person making a certain decision, something different happening in the in the world, in the environment, changed the way that that Earth continued on. So what we're talking about is a an alternate Earth where John F. Kennedy actually survived his assassination. Think about it. That's huge.
It would be, yeah.
We're talking about a alternate Earth where the dinosaurs were, kept on surviving, and they ruled the Earth. So the human species was, like secondary. So dinosaurs, continue to thrive. There's an episode which is actually episode 1, considered the pilot episode, where the Russians, and you guys know, in the 1980s, 1990s, we had what is called the Cold War, which was, the USA versus USSR. And in that alternate universe, that alternate Earth, actually the Russians came and took over the United States. So imagine living the communist, we know about communism in Russia from the 1990s, and living that here in the United States. What a different environment, different world that we would be in. So I'm a huge, and again, and I'll mention this, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. I really enjoy that concept of time travel. And Sliders is kind of like the cousin, because it's not so much about time travel, but it's about traveling to alternate universes. So I remember watching Sliders. I didn't get to watch all 5 seasons, every single episode. I would catch a few episodes here and there, and that's all I pretty much knew. But I just definitely love the concept of it. But I will talk about this a little more in future episodes to give you guys an idea of a lot more of the shows, and kind of like how each season, because it lasted 5 seasons. So the first few seasons were probably the best seasons, due to the main characters were mostly in them. But unfortunately, behind the scenes, actors, change in what they're asking for in pay, or they have more opportunities, in other elements of entertainment. So unfortunately, some of the main characters, the 4 initial main characters of the show, started changing, and they were being replaced by other characters being introduced. So it was pretty interesting, and I'll definitely give you guys a breakdown in a future episode. So Sliders, the TV show, if you don't know about it, guys, at least YouTube it, check it out. There's a lot of great videos on there, so you can see what it is that I'm talking about and the excitement that I have. But yeah, I am very excited that I bought the DVD 5-season set, and I finally finished it yesterday. I watched the very last episode of Sliders, and I'll mention this real quick. I was disappointed because, unfortunately, I guess they were thinking there was going to be they were hoping there was going to be a season 6, but the cliffhanger that they left it at, it left all of us at a loss.
Oh man, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, we really didn't get to. We knew what happened to one of the main, because they always kept it at 4 characters, 4 main characters. So we got to see what happened to one of the characters, but the other 3, I invested so much time watching all of these, and I can see
hate
the
when that happens.
frustration that probably back in 2000 when that last episode hit, you know, these last 20 years, the frustration of a lot of Slider fans. And I'm starting to checking out some of the Facebook pages out there showing some of these Slider Facebook fan pages and some of the disappointment that they're mentioning there. So I'll let you guys know a little more in a future episode.
I was gonna say, John Grise or John Grease, that's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I recognize that name, and of course Jerry O'Connell. I know Jerry O'Connell from other shows too, but
Yeah.
and I think Jerry O'Connell was in a few movies too, if I'm not recall. But yeah, John Grease one. I didn't know. I forgot John Grease was in that. Yeah, that's why I know him from Napoleon Dynamite, of course. But when you said that, I was like, I didn't know he was in Sliders. That's cool. I can see him being in a show like that. I mean, that I can remember. Sliders was like, I remember it was kind of like the modern version of Quantum Leap kind of deal.
Yes. Like, Quantum Leap was kind of related to the way they did the show. I never seen Quantum Leap, but there was a similarity.
I remember that Quantum Leap. I remember well because obviously on the USA Network they would talk about it, and obviously I would watch wrestling on there, and they would talk about Quantum Leap often there, and they would do reruns. But yeah, that's what I always meant, like coincide Sliders with Quantum Leap.
Cool. Okay. Actually, you know, before I go into my next topic, you mentioned wrestling, and as a lot of our friends know, you know that you know we have we have two groups that some of us are associated with a little here and there. One of them is the Gamers Addict Show, TGA, and another one is the Few. You know, fanatics. Fanatics enjoying wrestling. And we have three members that are you know doing their own show, and O.M.B is part of that. So that's the TFS podcast.
TFS podcast.
And they do wrestling. You know, they talk about wrestling. So actually, I would love, you know, for one of these episodes to get you guys on to share.
Yeah.
You know the stuff that you guys do, because you guys are consistent. You guys are always putting something out, and you guys are following, you know, the wrestling. Out there. So we got to talk about that. So we can,
absolutely. We can do that. And the funny thing is TFS Pod. It just basically it started out kind of like how the Gamers Addict started with me, where JFEW and you asked me to hey come on, we'd like you to do episode 3, and just, you know, it was just a one-off. The idea was just a one-off to come and do a concert, and that was that. And then I guess I was liked enough where JFEW said, hey, I'd like for you to be a permanent cast member. If you like that. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And TFS Pod kind of turned into that thing, like 24/7 Lou and Rick Hard.
That's it.
You know, 24/7 Lou's particularly, I remember was really impressed. Was like, man, you a lot of wrestling history. I was like, I love it, man. And Rick Hard I had already known before, like from past episodes that we recorded together. Yeah. Like he could tell right away that I knew a lot of wrestling history. I think you might know more than me. So we just got together, and from then on, it just became, hey, we'd like you to be the third member, and I basically became like the NWO, the third member, and you know, and it went from there, man. And we've been consistent. We now have, for those that don't know, we have now it's myself, 24/7 Lou, Rick Hard, and the randomizer, which is it's a dice. And we use it as our unofficial fourth member. And oddly enough, this unofficial fourth member has gotten a few predictions correct, and has taken points from me particularly. I'll never let that one go. You know, but we have a lot of fun, man. We mention you guys a lot.
Oh, cool.
you're mentioned quite often. Actually, we
Really?
say that we say that you have an alter ego called EGOB instead of Bogy. Uh,
How,
it's,
how come? But you guys haven't let me know this, man. I mean, I would love to hear
it's
those
yeah, yeah. We'll
segments,
we'll pass them on to you, but
bro.
we
Okay, you gotta let me know because the other guys aren't letting me know. So at least you,
right.
anytime it's mentioned, at least let me know. Hey, listen, this episode you were mentioned.
Like
I would love to hear that.
matter of fact, I'm actually the one that makes the mention almost always, because the running joke is, you know how we ask, hey, put in your predictions before this time,
Yeah.
and we know that you got a lot going, like you got your dad duties, work, and all that, so we know that. Yeah, but the running joke is like, oh, and so and so and so and so is at 0 points, and then I go including Bogey, and I go including Bogey. So it's always, oh, we always like to throw little fun there. So and we
That's
always like
good,
to
man.
include everyone. So yeah,
Good.
it's been some good times, man. We just did, actually, we just did a SummerSlam trivia with JFEW. JFEW was on,
Nice.
and let me tell you, those are some hard questions that Rick Hart threw out there, man. That guy did his research really good, because
Cool.
Rick Hart he's the moderator, so he'll. I've won both of them, by the way. I've won both of them. So
Nice.
yeah. Not to
Cool.
toot my own,
All right.
horn. But
Yeah,
I'll
so we
definitely let
definitely
you guys
talk
know.
more about that
Yeah,
in
for
a
sure,
future episode, and
for sure,
get you guys on here so we can
absolutely.
chat a bit more. So the next thing I wanted to share with you guys was, as a few of you guys know, Giovanni, my son, he's 14 years old. He's very interested in being an actor and watching movies, and really, at 14, I mean, I don't know. At 14, I wasn't thinking shit. I was thinking the next time I can just go out and ride my bike and play tag with my friends and stuff. But he is himself, myself, and props to my brother-in-law, Gino. We're following the AFI Top 100 Movies of All Time. Is a list that has been composed by professionals within the industry that know movies, that knows the movie making, the production, that have a true handle on, the last 100 years of great movie making, and have come up with a list. Now that list has been revised once so far. So to some of you guys have already shared on the show what we've watched so far. So I'll share in the last few weeks some of the other movies that Giovanni and myself have added to our repertoire, because I enjoy movies,
Yeah,
quite a bit. I'll go ahead and mention my all-time favorite is Back to the Future, motherfucker. The time travel concept, the characters, the storyline, the times, the times that they go in the 1950s, the 1980s, the
2010s,
2010s.
if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Yeah, in the 2010s. I mean, all of
2020,
that.
2015. Yeah, 2015,
Yeah. So
2015.
all of that. I just, I've always loved that, and it just, it just caught me from the beginning. So that's my all-time favorite, and of course the rest of the trilogy. I really enjoy. But so from the AFI Top 100 Movies of All Time, and go ahead and do your own research. Just Google, just type in AFI Top 100 Movies of All Time, and you will see the list. You can actually go to their website, and you can actually print out the list itself. So far in the last a few weeks, the movies that we've added to our repertoire was Raging Bull. Raging Bull is I believe, a 1970s movie, and that one had Robert De Niro. What was special about that movie was that it was filmed in black and white, and there were color movies already at that time. 1970s, 60s, color movies. but it was very interesting that the director wanted to film this movie in black and white. And Robert De Niro, played the role of a very famous boxer, from previous decades. And I enjoyed it. Now we all have our own preferences. Now, would I put that in Bogey's top 100? I don't think I would. I would definitely put it in my top 1,000. And I want to make it clear: there's like tens of thousands of movies that have been made in the last 100 years. So to make it in the top 100, I mean, that means a lot.
Special.
That means a lot. So Raging Bull is definitely in there. But yeah, as for me personally, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed seeing Robert De Niro, and he was very young.
Yeah, he was.
We're talking about like 1970, so he was very young in his acting career. But he was one of those top actors around that time himself. Al Pacino was another name that was out there,
big deal.
around that time where they were just starting up. So yeah, Raging Bull. I don't know. Okay, I usually do a like a 5-star. I would give Raging Bull like about a 3. Okay, so
Okay.
good movie. Okay, 3 is not bad at all.
Oh, no.
5 for me. I'll give you the standards of a 5 for me. 5 for me is a Back to the Future. 5 for me is Avengers Endgame.
Rocky.
Rocky. Rocky 1. Okay,
Yes.
I will give Rocky 1 as that close 5. So it's that top tier. So Raging Bull, even though it definitely has a lot of accolades to it, and for me it was a 3 out of 5. I can't see eye to eye with the professionals that put it on that list. The next movie from the AFI Top 100 that we watched was Chinatown, that came out in 1974. That one had Jack Nicholson. As many of you guys know, Jack Nicholson is a actor that has been around for a very long time. He was born in 1937. Right now, he's 84 years old. He was the Joker in Batman's 1989 movie. He was in The Departed, The Shining, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I mean, he probably has hundreds of movies under his belt. Now, one of the movies that I really enjoyed, which was a comedy that came out in 2003 with Adam Sandler, called Anger Management. If you guys have not seen it, listen, he was a master in that movie. He was just hilarious, amazing actor. Forget about his age. I mean, you can see that, if you have an emotion towards a character, they did their job. So yeah, Chinatown, 1974. We were able to check that one off our list. The next movie that we watched, and this was a week ago, we watched again together with Giovanni and myself for the second time, The Godfather. Okay, now Giovanni has watched The Godfather. This would be his third time, and myself, I've watched it about 3 or 4 times myself. But I was surprised because he said, because we're trying to knock out this top 100 list, and he said, you know what, I would like us to watch The Godfather again.
Oh.
And we watched it again together, and there were certain moments in the movie that we paused it and we did some Google search, because there were things that sometimes you might not pay attention and it just goes over your head. And you know what? We found out things of the storyline that we actually understood even more. So it's like the more you watch something, the more you really get the concept of it. Because and I can relate this to Back to the Future, where the first time that I watched it, forget about it. Even though I enjoyed it, but I really didn't have the full concept. All right, we got 5 minutes
Right,
left.
man.
But after I've watched Back to the Future like 20 times, and I definitely have a great feeling, understanding, and enjoyment of Back to the Future,
Yeah.
because all the little intricacies that I've watched from the next one to the next one, and I picked up more and I understood more in this viewing. And after that 15th viewing, it was just way different than the number one. So Giovanni really has enjoyed the Godfather trilogy, because we've watched the three movies together, and he's really intrigued with the actor Marlon Brando that plays the Godfather. So Giovanni is really studying Marlon Brando, and the way he acts, and we watched a few of his movies that actually one of them is in the AFI Top 100 list. So yeah, so watching the Godfather movie again, wow, I'm really, I'm becoming a student of the Godfather movie.
Nice.
And actually actually a week prior to that, I was watching a few YouTube videos. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there that like break down small aspects of the movie itself.
Yeah.
So there's certain characters in the Godfather one that we have these YouTubers like talking about their relationship to the Godfather or Al Pacino, or Michael, which is Al Pacino, and you really get to have a more in-depth understanding. So I'm appreciating the Godfather even more now. I got the DVD trilogy set. I mean, I've had it for like the last 15 years. But I definitely have a more appreciation, and actually that's due to Giovanni, because I'm really looking at it more, more in depth now. And let's see, the last movie I want to share with you guys on that list, so I can kind of, end this here, is today from the AFI Top 100 list of movies of all time in the last 100 years. We watched The African Queen. Now, growing up, I've always heard about Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca and a few movies that he's done. And African Queen has come up. So finally, that curiosity, that mystery about that movie that I've heard so much about as, growing up, I was able to go ahead and watch it today. And again, thanks to this list, thanks to Giovanni's curiosity, thanks to Gino, my brother-in-law's guidance. And if you guys watch this particular list, you guys are really gonna encompass a knowing of what's appreciated in the last 100 years of movie making. So the African Queen has Humphrey Bogart, starring with Katharine Hepburn. And eventually, I believe, eventually they got married, and that was part due to the meeting and working together in this movie. So I watched it, and I mean, would I put it on my top 100? I don't know if I would put it in my top 100. I would put it in my top 1,000. I mean, I watched a lot of movies, but the movie itself, for the time it was, there was special effects. I enjoyed it. Okay, so I can say I would give it a three and a half, a 3.5 out of 5. And definitely I would say, because Humphrey Bogart, aside from myself being named Humphrey, and that's where I understood there is a Humphrey Bogart that I got named after. My father gave me that name, instead of the normal Carlos or Luis or Jose. So he wanted to give me a unique name. And I guess he was a fan of Humphrey Bogart, which definitely was a huge movie star, back in the day. you know, I really enjoyed it. So I really enjoyed that movie. And if you guys have an opportunity to watch it, I would say go ahead and watch it. Okay, it's not going to be a Avengers or a Mission Impossible movie, but
That's okay though.
it's okay. But sometimes you know you kind of have to just you know settle in and just enjoy the acting and the whatever effects and the story for what it is. And yeah, I can say I definitely enjoyed that one. So all right, all right. I mean, I was gonna mention a few other things, but we kind of already hit our 25-minute mark. So I know we're pretty much here at the 30-minute mark. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this, you know, this next topic, this topic of the Bogy Roundtable. And O.M.B, thank you for sticking around
Of course,
and
man.
then, you know, contributing. And yeah, we definitely got to get the TFS podcast on here. So, you know,
I'll
so we
work.
can learn a little more
I'll
and,
work on that.
you know, get a little exposure for you guys, you know, to, you know, be out there and you never know who might tune in. So, all right. So, guys, here we have come to the end of episode number 2. I mean, I'm sorry, season 2 of episode number 17 of the Crew After Hours. And we're going to go ahead and sign off. So, O.M.B,
Hey, play loud and play proud.
that's right. This is your man Bogy saying, enough said. And you guys have just finished watching the Crew After Hours. Ooh, after hours. Oh, 11:52. After the hours. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is your man Zane. Enough said.